Ada? gentlemen, may I have your...
Uh-oh. All right. What's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All righty then. What's going on? What's going on to all my embrace? Which is a little technical difficulty at the beginning, but everybody knows I'm still building this plane while I'm flying it. So strap on, Mr. Hank, because we may see some parts fall here and there, but we're gonna use some masking tape to it, okay? But how you doing today?
I'm good. It's another beautiful Wednesday. Get the opportunity to come in the basement and now get to hang out with you a little bit, Miss Grace. So it's all good. It's all good.
I know that's right. Well, this was an interesting topic to me, especially when I met you on these YouTube streets, and you were very animate about this one pop theory. It's one of the things that you stand on 10 toes strong. So I said, you know what? I need to bring him on, and I need to have him help me show women about what this one pot theory is about. So before we get started, I would like to introduce myself, especially to my newcomers and to Hank, the basement audience. My name is Grace with Embrace the Grace. And over here, I am an advocate for men, especially Black men. I have a Black son. So a lot of things that I talk about, he will endure and is enduring. So over here, we have the awkward, messy, uncomfortable conversations because they're necessary. We don't hide things underneath the rug, and we don't want to ignore the big pink elephant in the room. We make sure that we address it. So to find me, you would definitely find me here on the YouTube channel, Embrace the Grace. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on WhatsApp, Snapchat. You can also find me on the JVJ Network on Thursday nights. You can find me in Global Media Network on Friday nights. Sir Hale Speaks on Sunday nights. I'm all over the place because my goal is to get my message across the board, and I try to surround and work with people that are like-minded and have the same goal and mission. So without any further ado, Hank, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell my audience and others where we can find you, and don't forget to subscribe to both channels.
I appreciate that, Grace. Well, typically you can find me on Mondays and Wednesdays in the basement. That's where I'll be. That's where I hang out. That's where I spend most of my time. I guess doing most of my damage, as some people may say. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Time. Just hanging out there. Trying to put some material out there. Trying to send out a message to these young bloods out here. Mostly, man. I try to really point most of my message toward the men, for the young men, and because I feel like there's a great need for them. Between the ages of 16 and 25. I was telling somebody before. The reason why I even chose that age range is because at one time I thought about going to Job Corps. What I'm saying? Before I got my scholarship to play ball, I thought about going Job Corps. I'm like, man, if I don't get on scholarship, I got to do something. I really wasn't a big fan of the military, but I was willing to go if need be. But I said, look, we willing to go to Job Corps, get a trade and do that. So one of the things about Job Corps, they always looking for, the people, the young men who's the age between 16 and 25. So I said, look, when I get done doing what I want to do, when I get myself to the right place, I want to make sure I can reach and help young men at that age range, because I know that's a gap where, you know, a lot of people not really talking to them guys, because, you know, they talk to the young kids, you know, they got them boys in the boys club or little these organizations. But once they get to like they 16, they feel like they semi-grown, right? They feel like they left out, you know, because they can go get a little job or something like that. And that's not the case. These young men still need to be guided. These young men still need to be taught. They still need instruction. They still need help, and they still need to be coached up. So I'm want to be that person to reach out and help them young bloods. But not only that, even those who are guys who are my age, you know, it may be something they didn't learn, and you know, as they was coming up, or things they just maybe forgot and just didn't acknowledge I was taught. Hey, they need some knowledge and some coaching too. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You could never not learn. I don't care what age you are. Anybody could teach you anything. Whether it's down to a young boy or to a grown ass man, you could be taught by anybody. So that's the one thing I like to do, especially with my channel. But you can also find me on the Lapeef Network on Sundays. I'll be on Lapeef on Sundays. I'm hanging out over there on Sunday with a variety of group of people. Man, usually brings great perspective and a lot of great views to that channel, as well as you can find me on King Talk. So I really like King Talk because it's a bunch of guys together sitting around having good conversation, grown man conversation, and some conversation where a lot of ladies could be on the outside looking in like, damn, didn't realize that. Damn, I didn't think about that. Damn, I didn't understand it, but now you do. So, but we're able to talk freely, like we're in the barbershop or at the cigar lounge, or just hanging out in the, you know, maybe in the basement somewhere, just have a good conversation, talking that talk, cutting up a little bit at the same time, but also just trying to send a message to everybody. So that's where you can find me at.
Absolutely, and thank you for that. And we need, Hank, we need more men like you to step up and mentor these young men, because they're out here running wild, lost in the sauce. You know, no disrespect to single mothers, you know, but they really need that mentorship from a male perspective. We can teach a boy how to be a good man, but we can't teach him how to be a man. Only a man can teach him how to be a man. Just like us ladies, we want to learn about men. We need to go to the men to learn about men. I can't learn from Judy down the street, or my mama, or my auntie, or Big Mama. If I want to learn about men, I gotta ask the men. And that's what I am constantly doing, out here networking, asking questions. And actually tonight, Hank, there's gonna be some things that you're gonna teach me, because after today and the conversation that I was having with the gentleman that I'm seeing, it made me realize that I'm like 50-50 on this one pot theory still. You know, I mean, I'm all for it, but you know, as the show goes on and you teach us more about this and the importance of the one pot, you might have to change my mindset as well, because there are things that as us ladies have been taught all our lives, you know, is how to survive. You always hear aunties and mamas teaching us, oh, you always put money up. You always stash money. You never know emergency. You know, that's going to take work on your part and other men to show us, well, why shouldn't we stash some money away? You know, men are leaving us all the time. And then what do we got? We're left hanging with the bag, with the children. What do we do then? Like, God bless Kevin Samuels. He used to always say, you know, you got to go by the man's plan. You got to go on his program. But what if you're a homemaker and you don't work and you depend on everything on your husband, and now all of a sudden y'all break up? What is a woman to do? And let's incorporate that with the one pot theory, because you got to teach me too now, because I made my ex-husband sign a prenup, and because I wasn't going to allow the inheritance that my father left me with all his blood, sweat, and tears, and everything that I've worked for him to get half. I get it, but how do you incorporate the one pot theory with something like that? The floor is yours, sir.
Uh, when you asked me to have this conversation and do this show, me and my lady talked, and she's like, they're not going to really understand. They're really not going to get us. And then they're going to look at me like, why would you do something like that? Right. And I tell her all the time, I don't give a damn about what people think. Look, I'm going to be blunt with you. Grace, I don't give a shit if I change your mind. At the end of the day, and nothing against you. I got nothing but love for you, my sister. But I don't care if I'm changing mind or not. Because at the end of the day, I know what's going to be good for me and my future wife. I know the reasons why we're doing it. Now, I'm going to share those reasons why. I'm going to keep it all the way up front with you guys. Okay. And hopefully, if you are on the fence, okay, maybe I can convince you. But if I don't, at the end of the day, it's not going to make me or break me. Me and my lady going to keep on trucking. I'm going to go ring shopping. We're going to find out a type of ring she like. I'm going to get that ring. I'm going to keep moving forward. And when our time comes, like we said, one pot here. So with that being said, the one pot theory, the reason I came up with that theory, now, like you said, I did the 50-50. That shit just didn't work for me. You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
Let me explain. The reason why, because now I got to go shake my woman down for half of the LG&E, half the rent, half the this and that, and then, it's not coming, it's coming late or not coming on time, or vice versa. I'm giving her the money late. I'm giving up, not on time. She go to the store, she handed me receipts. I need half on. Now, see, that's irrelevant to me. That's dumb to me. That doesn't make sense to me. And I said, look, when we're married, we come together as one. You give me your body to me. We having sex unprotected, because I wouldn't have a son if I didn't, right? But you afraid of me having your paper. Because that's all it is paper. And it's only paper because of how much we put value on it. So if that's the case, then why can't we come all the way together? Please, ladies, I understand this old 1925 mindset y'all took back then because the laws wasn't set up for that. 2023 is the law is gonna make sure you good. They're gonna make sure you good. So guess what? They're gonna take half our money anyway. Now, I know, Grace, you said you had inheritance. That's not even on the table. Your husband's not entitled to an inheritance. They're not at all. So guess what? The law said that. You don't have to do anything. That inheritance is all you. That's off the table for him. He doesn't have access. Now, if you sit there and sign it over, sit there and say, hey, I inherit the house, so I'll, do a quick claim deed. Well, then he has some say so to it. But if you don't, he has none. You understand what I'm saying? So these laws, you're going to be well protected. And guess what? If you didn't have a job, are you a homemaker, some people say? You're going to get more money because now you're bringing nothing in the end. He's going to give you a certain amount of money regardless because of that. Now, I understand some people I heard who are scared and they have to get a prenup. But guys, also think about any money y'all make once y'all get married, it's eligible. It's eligible. So they're going to put it in one pot and they're going to split it. So it's not like that. They're not going to do that. There's going to be a split. It may not be as much because you may have to keep whatever you came in with first, and that may be perfect. But whatever y'all may combine together, it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs. No,
So
inheritance is not involved. I'm sorry, go ahead.
let me ask you a question, Hank.
Mhm.
So you and your lady have had these conversations, because while I was doing my research, I find out that people don't even have these conversations before getting married, and that's why they run into the brick wall once they're into the marriage. So I would have to agree with you. You must have these conversations and communicate with each other. Bump marital or premarital counseling. We need to have financial literacy counseling before a couple gets married. So the fact that you and your lady are talking about it, setting expectations is half the battle. It really is. It is half the battle, because you cannot go into a marriage after the fact. You find out I'm the spender, you're the saver. I've never been taught how to manage money, but you're, what you would call stingy. You know, where you're really trying to save money, and that's I think the biggest thing, Hing, that people need to have those conversations before getting married. Would you agree with me?
Definitely. I mean, look, that's one of my eliminated questions. That is one of my eliminated questions. How do you feel about one pot? And then they look bad for they don't understand. What do you mean one pot? And I explain, putting all our money into one account. That means whatever check I get, whatever check you get, we put together. Doesn't matter if you make more than me, I'll make more than you. We're coming together as one on everything. That's one of the questions I talk about. What is, financial literacy? Are you good with finances? Is finance an issue for you? By the third date, I want to know your credit score. I want to know if you can hold a home up by yourself if I was to go off hurt, or vice versa. Those are questions you need to ask. That's a must. I know people get nervous and scared when they talk about money. No, not me. Because at the end of the day, I invest all my money, most of my money, into the place I lay my head, and that's my home. Because I know I'm going to get a return. I can't get a return on these new cars. I can't get a return on certain jewelry. I can't get a return on going on these trips or nothing like that. I can't. But I know if I invest into my home, I could turn this $45,000 home, turn the value, do something here, remodel here, update my bathroom there, update my kitchen. And now my $45,000 now is worth $65,000. So yeah, I'm going to put it where I'm going to get the most returns. Now, when I say one pot, people think, oh, you just talk about one. No. I believe in diversifying my money. I have more than one account, but we all coming together with it. Now, please believe some people ask the question, well, what if she wants to give you a gift? That's one of the questions I get all the time. You can give me a gift. You have a credit card. Not a problem. You will have a credit card just like I will have a credit card. But please believe the bill's going to get paid out of that one pot. You have access to everything. If you're my wife, I'm going to bless you with my last name. I'm going to bless you with access to everything. What we hiding for? I don't believe in no rainy day fund. Because now, in my mind, you already scheduled for your exit plan. You're not all the way in.
Yeah.
I got 5 toes. Yeah. I need 10. I don't know, 8 toes. I need 10. Not 9.5, unless you like Megan, that's all you got. If you only got 9 toes, I need all 9 toes in. But if you got 10, I need all 10 toes in. I need you to be down like the pavement with me. If you're not down like the pavement, I don't need you. That restaurant does. The same restaurant that I left you at, that's who needs you, not me. I don't want to be with you. I want to be with me. Who's going to be with me? Who's going to be there for me? Who's going to fight? Who's going to scrap? Do it again. Make sure you have your hard hat and your lunch pail, because every day is going to be a challenge. But we're going to do it together. You're not doing it all by yourself. Please believe.
Ladies, do you hear it? I am bringing you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. Okay, you're hearing it from an articulate, educated Black man. Okay, this is not a Pookie or a Ray Ray. It doesn't apply to the Pookies and Ray Rays. It applies to the men who are decent, who are trying to build with women, and you cannot blame yourselves. This is why men don't give a shit about how much money y'all make, because they already know coming in. When I hear women saying, my money is my money and your money is my money, that to me shows me that that's a selfish woman. That's a woman that's self-entitled. How dare you say that his money is your money and your money is his money? Where they do that at? I mean, I have never thought of that like that. Yes. It may sound contradictory. I made my ex-husband sign a prenup, but everything I had throughout the marriage and during the marriage was shared. You know, he lived in the home I had, drove the cars that I had, but at the end of the day, my inheritance and the work that and the money that I accumulated in my businesses, no, you're not going to touch that. But whatever we accrued throughout the marriage, yes, half of that belongs to you. I don't have a problem with that. And this is why women need to understand, you want an established man, and then you want to come in and take half of his earnings that he's worked hard for. What is that saying, Hank? You weren't there at 5 o'clock in the morning taking them free throws with me. You weren't there practicing at the gym at 3:30 in the morning. You know, I'm gonna bring it into sports so the men can relate. It's not fair for you guys to think that not only do you want half of the man's assets, but then you don't want to put in nothing into the pot. I'm doing this to open your eyes, ladies. Get a mirror and look at yourselves and see how you're acting, how stupid and ignorant it sounds to think that you can come into a man's life who has worked hard, established himself, has got a nice allocated portfolio, got a home, got a summer home in the Hamptons, cars, and for you to think that you can get half just because you have a vagina, that's the one thing that's walking most around this earth is vaginas. You know, I don't get it. Where do you think women got this thought process? I don't get it.
Well, I just think it's unfortunately they learn them bad habits from mother, grandmother, great grandmothers, all the way down the line. I just think that that's the case. They learn those bad habits because, like you said, you know, stash some money away just in case of emergency. Well, you know, I'm all for emergency fund, but the emergency fund's going to be for everybody. You know, I believe in emergency fund. I practice the Dave Ramsey plan. Please believe me, when my credit was shot and shitty and I need to do what I need to do to get it together, yes, I started listening to Dave Ramsey on the AM radio. And I've been respecting and listening to that man ever since, and taking some of his thoughts and mindset, and I implement it to myself and to my household and my family. So yeah, I'm all for emergency plan, but me and my wife's entitled to that emergency plan, not for her to bail out in the middle of the night and leave me with a goddamn Dear John letter. We're not doing this shit. We're not doing this.
I hear you. Thanos Theory said, here's the tip for the lady at the restaurant. But that's for you. That's your good looking out, Thanos. Really appreciate that for him. So I'm going to show a video, and I'm sure that everybody have seen this video, and I want your thoughts and feedback. So give me just a minute because I am going to set it up. Here we go. Share screen. Yeah, I needed to show this. And I know a lot of us have seen it already, but we're gonna show it and we're gonna talk about it. Let's see if it comes up. I'm still kind of learning about this. Okay, it came up. Let's see. Yeah, let's sharing videos and stuff like that. Let me see. Play.
About $20,000. No.
Can you see it?
No, it came up, then went away. I tell you what, sometimes what I like to do, I like to download it to StreamYard. It works better. Yeah.
You're yelling at me about no account.
Okay, hold on.
I have
Can you hear
to
it?
make sure I'm good.
Yeah, I
That's why
heard
the
it. I
account
heard
is
it.
there.
Why are you telling me? I don't know.
You are my husband. I have to make sure
Let's
I'm good.
hear it
I'm not-
then.
If we were to ever get divorced, I'm not about to be out here for nothing.
We gotta make sure we good. This don't got nothing to do. You sitting taking money out of my home.
Do you not work for us? Are we not a family? You want? Don't
This
you
is
want me to
working
be
for
good?
you. This ain't
It really is. I have to make sure I'm good. I'm a woman. If you were to leave me, I need to be okay. What is the problem?
You need to problem yourself.
What's the problem? Serious?
Listen, check this out. At the end of the day, you make Count
Why?
with that. I work hard and struggling.
I have to make sure I'm good. I can't. I'm not about to argue with you about money.
You are so
No,
much.
I'm not. No.
Yeah, I think the sound is acting up.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, we're not even. I don't hear the sound at all. I think that's what they're saying in the
Okay.
chat. No sound.
Let me turn it off then. Okay, so it was the video. Can you hear me though? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was the video about the husband who's working 2 jobs, working his ass off, struggling to pay the bills, and the wife was stealing money out of the account and stashing it away, and she literally had $22,000 in the account, seeing her husband struggling to pay bills. Talk about that.
Yeah, I've seen that video
How would you
before,
feel about
and that is disturbing. It's very disturbing, but at the same time, I fault him. I put that on him. Let me tell you this: he knew she had a selfish mindset. I'm sure he heard conversation, overheard conversations. You know why he's probably dating, but you know, looking on her, you know, it looks like he's into that wig and the eyelashes and all that. But she's built nice. She looks good. You know, I'm sure she's probably gives him some good loving, and he couldn't look past that. You know, she looks nice enough where she's worth even bragging about. Hey man, look how good my woman looks. He couldn't get past that. So guess what? He walked down the aisle with this woman because he thought he had a hell of a catch, but didn't realize that shit between her ears is mush. A mindset is mush, and so now he's suffering now. So you know, hey, it's on him. He made a mistake. You know, he should have really did a better job at looking into her mindset. Really paid attention to the red flags that I'm sure she gave warnings and put out there. Because a woman like that, that's selfish. Yeah, she can't hold back. She can't hide it. She can't be I guess incognito with it. Now she's letting it all hang out. Right now she's showing it. She's like, well, you know, I had to make sure I was good. So everything is about you. I got you. And that's why you did it. She's a woman. I need to make sure I'm good. I know. And so now what he needs to do is he may need to, you know, count his losses and keep it moving. And say, hey, look, you go ahead and keep that 20,000. But I'm gone. I'm out of here. In fact, use that 20,000 towards a lawyer you're going to need because I got to go. It's obvious I made a mistake. But I'm not going to keep riding this mistake train with you. I got to get gone. Now, if you're willing to change your mindset,
I hear you.
If you're willing to change your mindset, yeah, we can work this thing out. But if you're not, yeah, this is a loss, and I got to take it L.
I hear you, and Hank, I want to address this. Travel One, I'm going to address you and all the other ladies from the other night that called me a black women basher. You know, why is this turning against a black wife? Why are you turning it into a race thing? It was a video that happens to be a black couple. You're the one bringing up race. So leave your feelings outside the door. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, wear that shit. But I am tired of y'all sisters coming at me and always using the race card. That was the video. That is the most recent video. It is perfect. That goes with this topic. So get out your feelings and absorb the message. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay. And at the end of the day, you don't know what I am. So let's get that straight, and let's get some straightening, because I am getting sick of y'all. Okay. If you don't like what you're hearing and you don't like the show, then you can kindly leave. This is the purpose of this, is to educate. I have a black son, and he's going to be dating black women. This is one of my main purposes. And if you have a problem with it, don't let the door hit you where the good door splits you. I'm tired of it. And I'm coming back and giving y'all the smoke. Because at the end of the day, y'all don't know what I am. Y'all just see the fair skin and the long hair and want to talk y'all ish. But anyway, sorry, I had to get that off my chest, Hank, because I'm sick of it, of everybody always bringing in a race thing. If I would have brought a white woman, if I would have brought a Hispanic woman, what does it matter? It's the content that I'm trying to relate. Anyway,
Well,
at the end of the
Grace,
day, Hank, go ahead.
Grace, you got to understand that Travel One, she's one of my biggest agitators. You know, she's like that.
I see her on Izzy's Angry Man.
Yeah, she comes over here and she gives me shit a little bit, but I don't even take offense to her, Grace. I let her speak as she wants to speak, and it's all good. I welcome the questions. I you know, because you need critics like this to keep you right and keep you on your toes and keep you honest, right? And I'm cool with that. I have no problem.
Absolutely.
with it.
I welcome the smoke. I welcome the smoke, because you know what? That's been the story of my life all my life, Hank. I used to get jumped in school. Oh, you think you're cute because you're light skin and your long hair. This is nothing new to me. And the fact that we're in 2023 and it's still happening shows me that they haven't leveled up. They still at the bottom and complaining. We not taking y'all men. Y'all giving them to us. Okay? So sit on that, Travel One. And I know she trolls everybody. And I'm glad that she's here, because you know what? It is what it is. You bring it, because I ain't scared. But with that being said, I don't just come up here and talk ish. I do my research. I get my information so I can educate people and we can become better version of ourselves. So I actually looked up what the definition of the one pot theory is. And Hank, it says here, it's the presumption by the courts that all properties and monies received before and during marriage is marital property. So it doesn't matter if you don't want to do the one pot theory. The courts will do it for you. And like Hank said, the courts are right now in the favor of women. So this, and somebody told me today, I was talking to them, it's still a slavery mentality. The fact that you feel that you have to put a stash away, the fact that you feel that you're going to be left behind, that is old school thinking. Because again, like Hank said, if you're going to give your body to a man and you're going to exchange bodily fluids, you're going to have a problem with exchanging a piece of paper. You know, I mean, let's really look at it. So the man is only good enough with his clothes off. He's not good enough to go to the bank and withdraw some money that both of y'all put in the same pot. So money is the number one issue, Hank, married couples fight about. And it's the second leading cause for divorce behind infidelity. And it seems that anytime money is talked about in a relationship, it brings frustration and tensions, and it tends to happen all the time. No matter how much you love your spouse, mate, significant other, trying to merge lives and his or her money can be bumpy, but it still can be a beautiful ride. You just have to be open to it. You have to be open to it. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, like you said, you you definitely have to be open to it. And look, it may not be for everybody, right? It just may not. It's one of those things you can't have your pride get in the way for it. You just can't, because if you do, then yeah, it's gonna be a problem. Because let me tell you, these ladies starting to make more and more money than some of you fellas. So I mean, what you gonna do? And if she wants to live a certain lifestyle, you can't really afford to go 50-50, because now you may be giving up your whole goddamn check in order to live in a certain neighborhood, in order to drive a certain vehicle, in order to keep up, and with certain restaurants she may want to dine at, or maybe go on certain trips. What you gonna do then? So guess what? Look here. As a man who's looking to always to build and do better and get better, one of my next goal or projects I'm working on is buying an apartment complex. You know what I need to do is bring some type of equity. Bring some type of collateral. You know what's collateral? Money. And so if I can show a combined sum of my money and my wife's money, that's more money for collateral. And better chance I get a good loan, a low interest loan, a better rate on my loan, because I have more collateral to put up against. Yes, that's what I want to do. It's all a part of the big picture. People don't look at that. When somebody sit there and say, "Hey, I'm making 90,000," but guess what? Me and my wife, we making 150,000 together. So whatever I'm dealing, I'm going to get there faster than you are by yourself, because you thinking as an individual, not as one. But you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, well, my wife." But guess what? When they look at your account, you're gonna leave your wife's account because it's not no money, because you don't have access to it, because you don't believe in a one pot theory. So now you only gonna be able to show 90,000, and I'm gonna show 150,000. Who you think's gonna get that good rate, that good loan? Who you think's gonna get it better? Who you think's gonna come with the more like the good better? Me. I am. So if you don't want to do it that way, then so be it. Good luck with that. I'm not with it, because that lets me know.
And I hear you.
If when you talk about somebody's money, let you know what let's take it to a whole different level. When you talking about money and putting all money in, that lets me know, okay, this is serious. This is serious. People willing to sacrifice their body and their feelings, but when you have all that money, oh, now you talking something different. Now that lets me know, okay, you all in. If a woman would trust you with her income, yeah, you talking about all in. She's willing to give us her money to you and share with you like that. Yeah, you talking about all in.
You're absolutely right. That shows a woman spending her money on a man shows a man that they're serious. When y'all come with these bullshit ass gifts with ties and socks and all that, but you expect Birkin bags in return for your birthday and Christmas, y'all not playing on an even level panel. And that could be black, white, Spanish, polka dot, Martian, whatever it is. Y'all are not. We expect so much from our men, but then we give so little. And men like you and men like Kevin Samuels and King's Talk on Lapeef are opening up the eyes of other men. And winter is coming for y'all women who think that the world revolves around y'all, and that just because you got vagina, you think that that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're going to get mad at the passport brothers. Then you're going to get mad that they're dating somebody like me or Becky or Ling. You know what I'm saying? It really is. And there's issues in every community. But you know what? The Hispanic, brown, and melanated community needs the most right now. Look how proud we all felt when Alabama had that sweet tea party. If we can come together like that, why can't we come together when it really matters? How about that? Don't worry about my race. Worry about us getting together as a community. There's a family up here, Hank, in Georgia, 19 families got together and bought thousands of acres of land, and they're about to make, they want all Black business owners. They're not really shying everybody away, but they're giving Black business owners the opportunity first. Black gas station, Black grocery store, Black bank, Black everything. What's wrong? What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we concentrate our energy on that instead of worrying about what race I am? You see, we got our priorities wrong. We not trying to fix problems. We're just trying to point at people, and it's never going to get better. I can't change my hair. I can't change the color of my skin, but you can damn sure change your attitude and your mindset and do better. So I got here 7 tips for a healthy relationship when it comes to money and marriage, and we'll talk about that. Okay, the first one is and you probably do all 7 with you and your lady. So we're gonna see once we go down the list, Hank, your report card after this. Keep a joint bank account. Don't keep separate accounts. Put all of your money together and begin to look at it as a whole. Keeping separate checking accounts lays the groundwork for major problems with your money and marriage. Okay, talk to me about that. How do you feel about that?
I'm all for it. Now, I'm the type, we're gonna put the percentage of money into a checking account to pay all our bills. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm also all for investing our money. So currently, right now, me and my lady, we're getting 4.7% interest on our money in a marketed savings account that I end up looking up and finding out and get more information on, and we're getting 4.7 interest. That is a hell of an interest rate for those who don't know, who are small-minded and has no idea about money. That is great interest rate. That is great. So with that being said, only way you can do that, you got to have at least a minimum of $50,000 in the account. Minimum. Now you can have 25,000, but it's going to be a little less. It's going to be like 4.0%. But you get that extra 0.7 if you have 50,000, and you're going to get certain level of perks and benefits. Why? Because it's more money. That's more interest. So the amount of money I make on interest is a check for some people for the month. I could just sit back and live off interest. Do y'all understand that the more money is in there, the better off it is?
And that's residual income.
Man. That's the amount of a part-time
that's residual
job.
Income. Yeah. You're making money while you're sleeping. You're making money while you're vacationing with your lady and don't have to get a part-time job. As we get older, we should be learning how to make money the smart way and not the hard way. So with number 2, Hank.
Exactly.
At number 2, it says here, discuss your lifestyle choices together. Some people, I'm giving you an example. Some people are perfectly content shopping at the Goodwill when they need to update their wardrobe, but your spouse or your significant other may have to feel the need to buy name brands items at full price. But you can't have champagne taste with beer budgets. And that's another problem. We want to live above our means. We want to prove to the Joneses next door. We want to put this fake reality life on social media. We would rather go broke and show ourselves that we got money when we don't really got money. You know, we fake it till we'll make it. But how long are we going to keep faking it? When are we going to actually start making it? That's the big question at hand. So marriage is all about a compromise. Couples need to talk daily or at least weekly with their spouse about money. So do you and your lady talk about money a lot?
we don't have to talk about a lot. It's look, what I always talk about doesn't need to be said. So we already have an understanding. When things need to be done, things need to be done. Now, she has every right to express her feelings, her reasons, or whatever's going on. Money. Say if we're gonna make a purchase, I expect her to have something to say. I expect her input, and I welcome it. But at the end of the day, I got to make that decision. Whether we are successful with it or we fail, I make that final decision, and I have to eat it. If we take a L, I got to eat it. And if she's mad at me, she's had something to say about it, I got to accept it. Because at the end of the day, I made that final decision. And she's okay with it. Why? Because she trusts and believes in me. She realized what she has in me. She knows I'm not going to let her down or leave her out desperate and destitute. I've been poor. I ain't never going back. I'm not one of those dudes who has a mindset, I live above my means. I don't. Matter of fact, I move like I'm broken in hell. Like I'm poor as shit. I live below my means. Because I'm not materialistic. And I have a lady who's not materialistic herself. To the point, let me even share this with you. I don't know how she's gonna feel about this. When she went school shopping, she even instills that in her daughter. She got some of the clothes from the Goodwill. Because guess what, guys? When you go to the Goodwill, not everything's secondhand. They got some new shit that's never been worn with new tags on it. Just never put it on. Why? Because maybe they just didn't have the place they needed to wear it. I wanted to wear it. Who knows? Look here.
I hear you.
I furnished my whole apartment from the Goodwill and a Habitat for Humanity store. Rental houses, furnish them through the Goodwill and Habitat for Humanity. What do I look like putting brand new shit into an apartment? I know more than likely my tenant gonna tear it up in about 3 or 4 months, and I'm gonna have to replace it anyway. I'm not. That's not the smart thing to do. So I'm gonna invest on certain things what I need. Now, guess what I'm gonna put in mine? Everything brand new. The hell with you guys. Best believe it's gonna be nice in the house where I reside, I lay, I eat, I sleep. Please believe it. But in some other spots, no, I'm not. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
I'm going to give you an example that just happened to me. I love my New York Yankees, and they're coming to play the Braves next week. And I was about ready to drop $600 with tickets, parking, food, and everything. Yeah, because when I go to a game, I'm going to go right up there. I'm only 5 feet. I'm not doing those. I want to see them there, you know? So the gentleman that I'm dating, he talked to me about it. He was like, you really think that spending $600 when you have other and bigger fish to fry right now with your money, when they already got money, they already got their millions, do you think they give a rat's ass about you coming to their game? Do you think that they care that you spent $600 on a game when your birthday's coming up in 3 months? Why don't you just take that money and put it up for your birthday, where it's more meaningful versus watching a 4-hour game? And then what? Are you going home with one of the ball players? Because you sure as hell not. You're going home with me. And I sat on that, Hank, and I said, you know what? He right. You know, I could watch the game at home, fry up some chicken wings, you know, and have the same kind of experience, but just not spend $600. And I took his lead, and I said, you know what? You're right, babe. I'm gonna go ahead and put that money up, and I would rather spend it for my birthday, where at least with $600 you could get a nice room for a day on the beach, you know, where it could be more meaningful versus watching a game. But that's where the conversations happen. That's where, and it wasn't even his money he was spending, it was me. But by him saving me money, it's almost the same thing. It's like, you really prepared? You really prepared, you know, to spend that money? See, look at this comment. I'm not changing how I live to please a man. Then you're gonna buy a dog and die alone. And when winter comes for you, don't wonder why you're alone. It's not pleasing him. It's talking logic. It's logic sense. But you see what I'm saying? This is the thoughts. I'm not changing how I live to please a man. Okay. And you know what?
You know,
I'll
Grace,
take your man.
I'm gonna say this. I allow the chat to be the chat. Look, I appreciate their views and their opinions. You know what I'm saying? Because that's greatly needed. You want individuals like that, because guess what? That I'm gonna use those people as teachable moments. See something right here? This type of woman you don't want. This type of woman you don't need. Why? If that's her mindset, that she's not willing to make some adjustments or changes in order to please a man, yeah, you don't want to be with her. Because let me tell you another thing she's not willing to adjust to. She's not willing to adjust to your plans. She's not willing to adjust to what you have to say. Matter of fact, she want to just bogart and bully your opinions to the point where your shit doesn't matter. Matter of fact, she don't even want you to talk. Why are you even speaking? Now we good. We good. So I welcome young ladies like Sugar Bum and Travel One. I appreciate you ladies. Y'all keep coming back. We need ladies like y'all.
Yep.
And I appreciate your questions and your comments. Again, they keep me on my toes. Thank you, ladies.
And then Miss Doreen said, what's wrong with pleasing? Well, I'm going to put, what's wrong with pleasing your man? I love pleasing mine, and I benefit from that too. Absolutely. But you see, that's what it is. They're only looking at the trees, Hank. They're not looking at the whole forest. And then Stan came back and said a good comment that I liked. He said, hold on 1 second. What's wrong than $100 be safe at home or sports lounge with your man? Makes sense. Absolutely, Stan. I'm going to fry up some lemon pepper wings, buffalo wings, what I call fat people fries, you know, cold beer. We're going to watch the game, and it's all good. And that's probably going to be less than $100. And I'm still going to get to watch the game, but I'm not going to spend all that money. And it just made sense. I mean, you know, the old Grace, maybe 20 years ago, would have been like, nah, I'm going to go to my game. I don't care. I'm going to spend that $600. But no, I got a senior this year. You know how when your kid is a senior, how much expenses are going to come up. Pictures,
Yeah.
Cap and gown, college applications. You know, that's, yeah.
Hey, Grace, if I can't take a moment to showcase what I like to do on my show on Mondays and Wednesdays,
okay,
and that
absolutely.
is
Go ahead.
Display my Funko Pops of the week, and that is Eddie Murphy. You see the album in the back. I don't know if you can see it over my shoulder, but also I have Funko Pops of Coming to America when Simi and Akeem, as well as my man Randy Watson, played by Eddie Murphy. So thank you for that opportunity, Grace. I appreciate it. So we can continue to go down this road
Absolutely.
of helping these lovely ladies and gentlemen do one pot there.
Yo, this is so funny to me. Travel One and Sugar Bum, I'm enjoying y'all because this is the first time y'all really interact with me. $600, I'm gonna even put it in there for you. $600 is chump change. Your man, who really isn't your man, can't afford it. Embrace the Grace. It's not a matter of affording it. It's a matter of being smart with your money and not being ghetto fabulous with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you may have a bag, but you can't pay your rent next month.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. For the individuals who want to do that, and you're gonna be cutting corners, and like you said, you're gonna be paying people like me late. Now your rent is due, and you don't pay it. You begging your landlord to give you an extension, and I'm the type, I put your ass out. Because what I do, your rent is tied into your water bill. And if your water's turned off, you can't live there. It's inhabitable. I told a couple people this before. Tie your rent to the water bill. So as soon as they don't pay a rent, you turn their water off. And you let the housing authorities know they live in an inhabitable house. They don't have water. And you have to go. I'm sorry. I put out a woman with 2 kids. I didn't care. At the end of the day, I need my money. The property tax don't get paid on IOUs. That's not how it works. I got to pay that thing every year. And if you ain't paying your rent, yeah, you're going to be out cold. Good luck with that. I had one that was on Section 8. She didn't want to do right. I reported her. I have no problem doing that. Because at the end of the day, I need my money. I need my money.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sugar Bum says the conversation seems male driven and women are just supposed to go along. Yeah. That's what we were made for. We were made to be a helpmate for men. I know you were tricked with feminism, and I know you've heard your mama and big mama and your auntie say men ain't shit and you don't need men. But at the end of the day, who was out there getting your toilet paper and your sanitizer and everything when COVID hit, or when the purge hit and martial law? Who are you going to look for? Who's the first ones that are going to die off? But you know what? I'm not here to convince you, Sugar Bum, because you're so far gone that it's not even worth my time. But go ahead, keep giving us the algorithm that we need. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. I appreciate you. And so let's go move on to number 3. Recognize your difference in personality. Everyone's money mindset is different and opposites attract. Chances are that one of you loves working with numbers, the nerd, and the other one would rather be not tied down by numbers, the free spirit. One is a speaker while the other is a spender, while one is a saver. Personality differences do cause some marital problems, but that isn't the real root of the money and marriage issues. The source of the problem is when one neglects to hear the other's input and isn't willing to learn, or when one bows out from the handling of the finances altogether. And that is what the gentleman that I'm seeing was telling me today. You have to be willing to learn from each other. You have to be willing to be coachable. You have to be willing to change your ways, because how you lived with your mama and your daddy and your auntie doesn't matter anymore. It's how you live with your spouse now. It's how you live with your significant other. And that's what made me reevaluate how I looked at the one pot theory. And he brought this to the table. Hey, if you was to win $1 million in the lotto today and we're dating, would you still make me sign a prenup? I mean, I had trouble answering that question. You know, he was like, all right, now be careful how you answer this question, because when you get on the show tonight with him, are you for the one pot theory or are you not? Because if you make me sign a prenup, then you're not for the one pot theory. But if you don't make me sign a prenup, then you are for the one pot theory. So that's how he framed it to me and made me reevaluate how I thought. I'm like, that was interesting. Financial nerds don't need to keep money details all to yourself. Stop using your knowledge to boss around the free spirit. The person that is more knowledgeable in finances needs to teach the other person about finances and get on the same page, because that's where the problem arises, when one knows more than the other and it's not willing to share the information. And to the carefree spouse, don't just nod your head and say, that looks good, babe. Have a vote in the budget meeting, give feedback, criticism, and encouragement. Remember, guys, teamwork makes the dream work. Use your personality differences to become stronger and a more united team. What you may be strong in, maybe your other half is weak in. What she may be strong in, you know, we have to offset each other and be compatible with each other for it to make it work. So with that being said, do you see that happening in your relationship?
No, because the thing about it, I tease all the time. I said, I'm not gonna let you work the money, because you gonna mess around and miss some numbers. You know, say, but look, we both understand. You know, neither one of us are materialistic type women. That was one of the good things I seen in her and I found in her, and I was good with, because I dealt with a a materialistic type woman before. I mean, it was okay, but it just got too much, you know, because I'm not really into that shit. It's just not me. So yeah, it was like a turn off for me. Like, not that I couldn't afford it, but I have a plan at the end of the day, and part of my plan is not to be spending my money on every new phone that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? Every new bag that's coming out. Your girlfriend's getting this purse. You looking at me. Now you want this purse, or these shoes, or this outfit, or this dress. You want to go on that trip and that trip. No. At the end of the day, I got a plan. And the plan is going to help us make money. So guess what? When we retire, I'm not going back to work unless I'm bored as hell. And I can't think I'm going to be bored because I got to deal with these people and these tenants. So I'm going to have plenty to do. So I'm good. Yeah, I plan on doing some traveling and enjoying my life after I retire. So yeah, I'm not trying to go back to work and do all that. I'm just going to enjoy the life, and I'm setting this up so we can both enjoy life together, retired, enjoy, and watching those multiple streams of incomes come our way, and build up our kitty. And guess what? When I go on and move on, my kids, my daughter, my son, is going to be straight. My granddaughter is going to be straight. That's how I got it set up. That's how I move. Again, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to drop a Jimmy eye. I encourage each child to have a life insurance policy for your kids. Not one where they splitting it. Hell no. Because I don't want them fighting over my and her. We're not doing that. Each kid, son got one, daughter got one, grandbaby got one. They have a life insurance policy. All of them. They will all get a nice amount of money thanks to granddaddy or daddy. That's the way it's set up. I'm talking to my lady about the same goddamn thing. This is what it's going to be.
It's called leaving a legacy.
That's it. That's it. And I told her, I said, so we're going to sell the house because we're going to move into a different home once we get married, right? I said, no, this is another income right here. I'm not selling this house. This is income. It's another form of income. We're going to make money off this house. I'm going to rent this one out. And we're going to move into our new home together that we're going to build together, and we're going to be good. So no, I'm not going to. That's another form of income. Why would I sell this? I'm not. Now, push come to shove, you can always come back. Push come to shove, only thing we're going to have to pay on this property tax, oh no, we good.
I hear you. And again, Sugar Bum, I really appreciate that. I'm enjoying this. This is work for me and a comedy show. I'm glad that you support Hank. I support Hank too. But you claim you don't know me, but you sure did know a lot about me, my conversation with Kevin Samuels. You accused me of being a black woman basher, but you seem to know plenty about me, but it's all good. So number 4, Hank, don't let salary differences come between you. Rarely will you both be making the exact same salary, whether one makes $20,000 a year or the other one makes $100,000 a year. All the same problems can arise. Instead of seeing the full pot as our money, many people use that as leverage over the other person. Sometimes the person bringing the most money can feel entitled to say, don't even go there. I bring the bacon home. I make the rules. It's not yours, it's mine. It's ours. There is no reason to hold a higher income over a person's head. And you've seen that and you've heard about that. I make more money. It costs to be the boss. How do you feel about that?
Doesn't matter how much money, because we together. I could make less money than my wife. Doesn't matter. My pride doesn't get in the way. Like I said, you gotta let your pride go when it comes to this one part, because that could be the case. I mean, so what am I going to do? Go out here and get a second and third job just to try to keep up with her? Hell no. I'm not going to do all of that. Why would I do that? Because I'm gonna let my pride, because I feel like less of a man because she make more than me? No, I'm not going to do that. Hey, she's blessed to make that income, but guess what? She's not making her income. We are making this income. This is ours. So whatever money she makes, we make. I think whatever company decides to pay her that much. I think of whatever industry she's in, they decide to make her that much. Or whatever career she's doing, they decide to pay her that. I appreciate that. Matter of fact, I might send you a Christmas card and a thank you letter. Because guess what? Now we're going to put that into our account. And we're going to be blessed together. And we're going to enjoy the fruits of our labor together.
Exactly. And you said something very important that I want to touch on. That's unfortunately that we as women tend to do. Okay, so your man makes less money than you, but it is not our right to make him feel less of a man. Because at the end of the night, when he's blowing your back out and he's your man, then we don't make him feel like less of a man. But when you want to use your money as leverage, or your degrees and everything else that we try to use as armor to make us equal as men, which, ladies, I'm here to tell you, we will never be equal to men. It's never going to happen. The order of operations is the children belong to the women belong to the men, and the men belong to God. And that's how it's been. That's how it's always been. And that's how it's always going to be. We come of a man. He put the man to sleep and took a rib and made us to be their helpmate, not to be their equal. Because I don't see a lot of y'all working in the sanitation. I don't see y'all in the sewer systems. You want the same pay, but you don't want to make the same. You don't want to do the same jobs. You want the cushy CEO jobs, which, you know, with the power suits, but you're not up there when the lights go out in the middle of a hurricane and then buggies, you know. But that's neither here or there. You have to be taught at a young age to appreciate and value men. And if you didn't grow up with men around you, you're not going to recognize that value and have that appreciation. So Sugar Mom, you don't listen to anybody. You don't listen to older women. You don't listen to black men. You don't listen to your mama. You don't listen to anybody. So it's okay. It's okay. So on the other spectrum, though, Hank, the one that makes less and stays at home with kids might feel like they shouldn't have much to say. And I asked a couple homemakers that, and their husbands make all the money. They was like, and they were very timid. They were like, no, I don't feel like I have any say with the money because I don't work. I said, but do you realize the value that you bring to the family by staying home with the kids, by avoiding having to pay daycare? You know, things like that. A lot of them don't recognize their value. So they allow the person, so they allow the person that makes the money to make them feel lesser of a person. And that shouldn't be. A person should not feel guilty for speaking into the budget or even spending on anything more than they should. You have equal say because you're in a marriage. It's a team. You know, they may not bring in more money, but they're bringing more value by saving money. You're not taking the kids to daycare. You're able to take the kids everywhere. You don't have to pay a babysitter because you're at work or you have to do something. We have to recognize our value too as homemakers and women that do jobs at home versus CEO. You know, a lot of these women that I see that have high degrees and high-powered jobs are miserable. They're miserable because they're spread so thin and trying to prove something to everybody and everything, and they're still sleeping home alone in an empty bed with all their degrees and all their money in the bank. So
yeah,
how do you feel about that?
Look, at the end of the day, if you can afford to for your wife to stay at home and take care of the family, then that's a beautiful thing, right? Because I mean, what's going on right now, and the things that I see that's going on and allowing these kids to be exposed to certain things in school, I would be looking into homeschooling my children. That's what I would be doing. I'll be looking to homeschool my kids, and hopefully I picked a smart enough wife who has her, you know, who values education. Because see, I'm a man who values education. I know some men say they don't care about women. Let me tell you this. I want to see you a woman with a degree. I want you to be an educated woman.
Okay.
I don't want you to be a dumb woman. I don't. If you're a dummy, then I got to look at my kids. I got to be concerned. Don't want to have kids with this woman who doesn't value what her knowledge. No, hell no. So I value a smart woman, an intelligent woman, a woman who has common sense. That's all value me, because now I know she's going to pour that same knowledge into my child or to our kids, and that's what I want. If a man can afford to keep his wife home, why wouldn't you want to do it? And like you also said, look at the amount of money you saving as far as childcare. Childcare is expensive. Now I remember back in the days when my son was in child, I was only paying $150 a week. What I'm hearing now, you damn near paying a house payment.
Mm-hmm.
You damn near paying a house payment for childcare. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And now what they got going through with these schools and what they're exposing our kids to, educate and pushing on their kids. Yeah, no. I encourage my daughter to homeschool her child. I definitely do, because what you about to come up on is not right. Now, fortunately for my son, he doesn't have to deal with that no more. He doesn't have to deal with that no more, because he's out of high school. He understands. Me and him had a conversation. You know, it's funny. I had to get on him because he used to, you know, when he was sick, he was voices. He's like me. He sees something like, oh shit. So he was, oh, Daddy, that was gay, and he started laughing. And I'm like, hey man, we can't do that, dog. We can't do that. We can't be, you know, making him comment, because he would just say it out loud. So what he started doing, he started saying, Daddy, A-Y-A-G. So he would spell it backwards in order to let me know what he's talking about. Now, me and his mother knew what he's talking about.
That's funny.
Nobody else did, but we did. So he's like, I know, man. I mean, that's their lifestyle. That's what they want to live. Hey, that's not what we into. Let's keep it moving. And that's why he would do. But now, you know, of course, now he's a little older, and he's, like you said, 18. He knows what he's seeing and dealing with out there. He sees those type individuals in the school, and he just keeps it moving. He knows that's not his lane, and he keeps it moving. Is he respectful to him? Yes. He doesn't do anything to disrespect. I said, now that's why you need to move. So, but yeah, I would definitely be good. You know, if these men could, like most men can't do it, right? We know this. Most men can't afford to have their wife stay at home and take care of the family. That's not the most cases. The average person has to have two incomes.
Not in this day and age.
They don't. So, with that being said, you got to respect a woman who is a stay-at-home mom, because guess what? That's a job. It's an unpaid job. That's what it is. Well, you know what their pay is? The fact that they seeing their kids thrive. They seeing their kids flourish. That's their payment. But do they get tired? Do they feel like they need off days and vacation? Yes, because they work hard. It's not easy dealing with kids 24/7. Look, I used to substitute teacher in the elementary level, and I couldn't stand some of y'all badass kids. Them kids was bad in the motherfucker. And I promise you, to the point where I want to put hands on some of them bad ass little bastards. But I know if I do, it's going to cost my life. I mean, not going to cost my life, but it's going to cost me my freedom and my career. So I had to get out of the field. The money wasn't good enough. The board of education wasn't backing us up like they should and like they need to. So I said, hey, let me step away. Now, of course, nowadays there's a teacher shortage, and now they'll do anything and everything to try to get, you know, teachers in the classroom there, and they start to respect that salary. They are, but is it still not where it should be? Yes, it's not, but it's getting better. So you got to respect women who stay at home mothers. They doing their job.
What's even sadder, Hank, that not only there's a shortage on teachers, but there's a shortage on male teachers because of all the issues with sexual harassment and these young fast ass girls hitting on male teachers, and you know the issues that's going on. You don't have, it's mostly women that you see teachers, and we need more male teachers. We need more male influence in the schools, but they've been so scared way because of the red tape and the political system that we're losing out on the male influence, not only at home, but also in the school system. It's like they're not even at church anymore, because we won't, we'll put the single mother with 4 kids, 3 different baby daddies in the front of the church. It won't shame her, but we'll kick out the men out the church. You see, there's a lot of uneven and unbalanced things going on, and I see it, and that's why our kids are lost in the sauce. How are we supposed to tell our kids, you and I, to get married, marry before you carry, if they've never seen it for themselves? If they don't have an example of a strong unity of a family unit? It's like beating a dead horse. But we got to keep chipping away, because if we could change the mindset of one person, then we've done our job. Like, Precious got her channel. Shout out to Real Precious. She's an advocate, and she talks a lot about adoption. I learned a lot from her about what children go through in the system and things like that. You're mentoring young men. What I am simply trying to do is turn the mirror on women and show their bad, reckless, self-entitled, think they the shit behavior that is not getting them anywhere. It's not. Having all these kids, not having a man in the house, is hurting our community. It really is. I coach basketball. I see these young girls and these young boys, how they're all over the place. I got to turn around and be careful and make sure that the dad gets the schedule, because the mother doesn't want the father to come to the basketball game. No, I make it a point. Hey, you're home with mom and dad? No, I stay with my dad on the weekend. Okay, make sure you give him this schedule. Well, I don't want him to go to the game. You ain't got a choice, ma'am. This is my team. And if the father has every right to come to the game, just like you have every right to come to the game. It's crazy, Hank. It's crazy. All right, we're almost done. Number 5, keep purchases open. Being unfaithful to your spouse doesn't always involve an affair. It can be unfaithful to share financial goals by opening up a side bank account or stashing money. It is deceitful. Same if you have a credit card, a secret credit card, and 1 out of 3 couples have confessed that they have hid purchases from their spouse. I remember as a kid, my mom used to do this. She used to buy a whole bunch of stuff and leave it in the trunk of the car until my dad went to sleep. And I would tell my mom, but he's going to see the credit card bill at the end of the month. And she would say to me, it's better to be, what was the saying? It's better to be forgiven than to ask for permission. I'm like, wow, that's what we do. This is a grown-ass woman teaching her daughter it's better to ask for permission. I tried that shit on her one day. When I did something that I wasn't supposed to, she never said that to me again. I'm like, what do you mean, Dad? Mom always said it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And my dad just looked at my mom and was like, is that what you're teaching her? Is it, so it kind of backfired on her. But that is just like being unfaithful, hiding purchases, hiding a bank account, hiding a secret credit card. It's crucial to be open and honest, and any side checks or savings account and secret credit cards need to be known. Open up to the truth and clear. It's called having financial trust. Just like you have trust in that person is going to be faithful, you have to be faithful in your finances too. Look how that man found out he's struggling to pay the bills, and you out here got $22,000 watching the man struggling because you're more worried about him leaving you versus helping build with him. I mean, have you ever experienced that, Hank, where you was with a lady friend and they were hiding purchases from you?
Yes, my but she really would hide, but she wouldn't I knew she had it because I knew her trunk was like a storage location for her. So she would keep it in the trunk and wouldn't bring it to the house, to later. But then guess what? I'll see her put the outfit on. I'll see the shoes. I said, damn, some nice shoes. I said, I ain't never seen that before. And I bring it to, oh, I've been having this. Well, she's probably right. She probably had it for a long time. It just settled in her car. You know what I'm saying? Or it was in the garage or something like that, or downstairs in her lady room, and I didn't see it until she wore it and put it on. So she's probably right. Yeah, I've been having it for a while. Okay, but didn't even know you had it. That's the whole issue. So yeah, I had experience, but like I said, I make sure I call it out. I make sure I let me know, yeah, I see what you're doing. Not approving of it, but I see what you're doing.
But did it affect the finances in the household with those purchases?
No, that wasn't the case at all. But it was just a thought. It's like, okay, then if you're willing to do something like this, what else are you willing to try to hide from me and be deceitful with me about? So that's when it becomes an issue. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of ladies need to think about that, because a man's gonna sit there and log that in. He's gonna have that in the back of his mind. It's like, yeah, she's doing underhanded stuff on this. Like I said, that little $20,000. What else is she keeping from me? Is she out there doing things that I definitely wouldn't approve of, like having a work husband and shit like that? Yeah, see, that's a problem. That's a problem. So.
Absolutely. Number 6, set expectations together. When it comes to money and relationships, unmet expectations can cause a lot of conflict. The quickest way to feel unfulfilled and unsatisfied with your spouse is when you expect things to go a certain way, only to find out that reality is a bit different. Couples in healthy marriages are twice likely to discuss their money dreams together. You have to discuss your money dreams, because if you don't set expectations, it's going to mess everything up. It's going to mess everything up. And then the last one, before I let my guest up, Smitty, number 7, don't let the kids run the show. Buying them the latest video game, the latest Jordans, and it's not in the budget, you already know there's going to be a big money argument, whether it's buying them toys or giving them an allowance or just paying for sports equipment. Kids have a way of bringing out couples different views of money and causing arguments. They use each other against each other. So the biggest thing is, if you come together and make a plan, you got to stick to the plan. Whether, I don't care if it's your kid, my kid, the neighbor's kid. If we make a plan and you deviate from that plan, then what's the use of making the plan, right?
So one of the things is with this one part, you got to lay it all out on the table. When y'all in the process of being born, right? That means I need to know every bill you have, every amount of debt you have. I need to know all of that. I need for you to put it there on the table. I want to see it written down. We're going to do this old-fashioned way. If that means I need to get you a copy of every bill you got, put it there. Put it on the table. We need to go for a budget. And we're going to have a plan. We're going to have a plan. Come up with a budget so we can pay these bills off. So if that means you got a $5,000 credit or $10,000 credit card that we need to address and we need to deal with, student loans, whatever the case may be, I need for you to be honest and upfront. Because what I don't want to do is come find out, okay, I don't remember this bill being on the table when we had this conversation. All of a sudden now you paying $259, $265, $380 bill every month. What is this? What is this bill? Is this you stashing money away bill? Or is this a legit bill that you didn't want to tell me about because you were embarrassed because it's so damn high? No, we're not going to be embarrassed. We're just going to be upfront and honest. Let me know what I'm getting into. I don't want to be going into secrets.
Exactly.
I don't want to be deceived. I don't want to be none of that. Lay it on. Look here, please believe. I know you got that. Nobody's without that. Nobody. And there's nothing wrong with it. As long as it's not as bad. As long as you're not, you're not upside down on your bills. Now that become a problem, more likely you won't be with Inc. But if you're able to manage it, you just not, it's not,
No, that's
you don't
right.
have the guidance, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the, what you need to do to create a good budget, a budget that's going to benefit you and to benefit us as a whole. I'm gonna help you with that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna pay our bills on time. We're gonna pay more than just a minimum. We're not doing that. What are we in college? What are we in elementary? What are we doing here? We grown men. We got to pay our bills on time, and we got to pay above the minimum payment. Because guess what? That interest is gonna tear your ass up. So yeah, that's got to be
Absolutely.
We got to know what's going on and be upfront with it. Don't look. You could be embarrassed if you want to. Be embarrassed, but still put it out there on the table. This is what it is. This is where I stand. This is what's going on. What we gonna do about this? And I say we gonna do, because it's gonna be me and you going to pay these bills off. That's what we're gonna do.
Absolutely. How you doing, Smitty?
What's up, my guy?
Respect. All right. Grace. All right. Big Hank. All right. Salute, man. Everybody in the chat. How's everything, man?
It's a beautiful
Good,
Wednesday, my
good. So
guy.
Always above ground. That's right. What's up, Grace?
how much have you heard? How much have you heard? And let me get your, it's been me and Hank, and the chat is lit.
Okay.
But what do you have to say about the one pot theory? What is your feedback or input on that? Do you agree? First of all, do you agree or disagree?
The one pot theory. Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what's crazy? All right, so I don't know too much about it because I haven't been in that situation yet. But what I will say is this, just on a basic level. All right, so my mother and father, they're still married, still alive, still in the same household, right? They started out one pot. For whatever reason, they're now two pots, but they're still in the same house, still share the bills. So, I don't get too much into the business of that with them, but I take a lot of examples from my peoples because they're still together, So, I guess that's as much as I got on that because I've never really been in that situation. But I will say this, me personally, in this day and age, I'm gonna have to say I'm going with the two pot, like, because I just can't trust you. Like, nothing personal. I got too much to lose, man. I have way too much to lose to take a chance of you not spending your funds right, or you just doing something at a cost to both of us. Briefly, and then I'll land it. I actually had to stop a relationship with a chick because, believe it or not, her credit score was just horrible, and we were really on the verge of being married at the time. And once I figured all that out, and then I got to speaking with my peoples and I did some research and stuff like that, come to find out, if I get with her and she move in with me and stuff like that, that'll take me down significantly. I don't handle a whole bunch of debt and stuff. I'm not over six figures, but my credit score is like that. So it kind of evens itself out in a sense. You know what I mean? But her credit score being the way it is, and I'm seeing her spending habits as Brother Hank was saying just now. Yeah, man, no. She's one of those, when she gets depressed, she has to shop. No, you not. Nah, what you gonna do is, I don't know, go to the park. I got some fishing rods in the garage. You want to go hit the lake with me? That always makes me feel better. I don't know what you want to do, but you're not going out this house and taking that car with you. No. Coming back with a bunch of unneeded shit. I don't have time for that. No. So I'm all about not being cheap but frugal, because that's how my people's was. They real frugal. So I kind of grew up the same way. Like, I'm not gonna lie, depending on what it is. I'm a penny pincher for dumb shit, but I damn sure will spend my money for great quality. I'll spend my money on quality, but I'm just not going to be spending money to be spending it. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Well, let me say this then. It depends on the woman. Again, I told you by the third date I'm gonna know her credit score, and if her credit score is not up to par, but I feel like she is getting a passing grade in other areas, I'm willing to work with this woman. I'm willing to help this woman by help her creating a budget. And once we get to a certain level on this budget, then baby, we could talk about putting a ring on it and what's going to be the budget for the ring. You know,
Big King, I don't think. Oh, my bad.
No, I'm just going to say that's a possibility. We know it's slim pickings out here, right? But if you can find you a real one and a good one, she has her one flaw, and that's money management. Don't worry, baby. I'm gonna make it work. Now, I'm not gonna allow you to have access to the accounts like you think you're gonna have until you get your financial literacy course online done and you got a passing grade. Yeah, and then we can talk about putting you on the accounts. But please believe, I'm gonna get you where you need to be financially, mentally, and that's what I could get. I guess they saw emotionally depressed because you feel like shopping is your outlet. Yeah, we'll have to change that mindset. We're gonna get you some therapy, baby. We're gonna get you some therapy. You're gonna talk to a therapist about this because that's not gonna be your outlet. How about you go to the gym and sign up for a yoga class?
Okay.
You know, how about you go to the gym and get on that elliptical machine and run about 2 or 3 miles? How about you go swimming? How about you go walking in the park? Clear our mind, you know what I'm saying, and not go to the store and go binge shopping just because, you know, I'm feeling some type of way because Nancy in HR has written me up because she's tired of me being late. We're not gonna do that.
Respect. Well, I mean, all right. So if I was to speak to that particular situation, I'm an extremely patient man. This whole situation was about a year and a half, I would say. And I'm gonna be honest with you, brother Hank. I mean, everything you said is, I mean, I don't have no disagreement with it, but I'm not the man that got all that time to do that shit with you. You need to be ready to go. I'm not here to train. Okay, I'm high and ready to go workers only. And that's just what my position is. Now, how I did try that. Now, yes, we did start going to the gym. I did notice like it was a moment where I'm like, that okay. Look like we can, you know, she kind of, but then I noticed like, you know, I go to her place and stuff and just be a whole couch full of just bags. Okay. All right. She talking about some, oh yeah, got into it with my sister, my aunt passed away, blah blah blah, and everything else. Okay, I understand that, but like, what is this? You know? And then I get a whole bunch of, because she's in her feelings, now I gotta get shamed because you want me to leave, but when I tell you that, babe, why you go do that? Well, are you buying it? Well, no, I didn't buy it. I know it's your money, but still, like, why would you go do something like that? That's not responsible, right? So I'm trying to work with her. Then I get a bunch of mouth, get a bunch of lip back. I stuck that shit out for about a year and a half, and then finally, nah, bro, nah. I'm too damn busy to go to therapy with you. I can't. I'm sorry. And plus, I didn't even sign up for that. I didn't sign up to. I did not sign up. I did not sign up to be your hold a hand man. I signed up to be a man that will hold your hand, though, if you get what I'm saying. So other than that, I digress. My mic is muted.
Well, the thing about it, I understand what you're talking about. Like a man of my age, I expect you to be ready-made myself, right? I expect that. But I'm pointing mine towards the younger men. Because like I said, most of them coming out of college, we know they're gonna have debt. That's off top. We that's to be known. You know, back in my days, they used to solicit the young kids. going to a basketball game, saying orientation, open enrollment. They be at the libraries, they be at the front of the football stadiums or the basketball arenas, whatever the case. They having homecoming, they there. So let's guys get credit card. They still there. They just do it more slick and sly about it. They just send it through your goddamn email. You know what I'm saying? And so guess what? More than likely, they're going to come out with debt anyway. More likely, most of them going to come out with student loan. Not everybody has the opportunity to get academic or athletic scholarship. And so they're going to come out with student loans. So you got to have a mindset, okay, what am I going to do about that? Yes, she did go to college. Yes, she did create some type of debt. What am I going to do about that? Am I going to say, hey, but if she shows that she's willing to learn and listen, then she's got a chance. And that's the most important. If she shows she's willing to learn and listen, then she has a chance. And I can rock with that. Man, if she just gonna be like what she said, what do you care? It's not your money. Okay, baby, it lets me know right now you're not willing to listen or learn. And don't sound like you're ready to move up off your square on this situation. And that's cool. I'm sure there's a man out there that's willing to put up with your bullshit. It's just not this man. And so I would move on. And I don't blame you for doing that. But at the same time, if she's willing to learn and listen, then go from there.
So
Agreed,
I
bro.
gotta read this comment. It says, why y'all just can't let us fail? Why does it have to be a whole scene? Can I fail in peace? Because we have kids, Sugar Bum. You don't. We need to think about our legacies. We need to think the children are our future. And if we allow them to fail, then we have a failing society. That's why. I mean, do you see your thought process? It's like, it's crazy to me. It really is. And Smitty, I understand what you're saying because I'm in that same boat. I'm too old to mold. Okay, I'm at an age where I'm already, I have a 17-year-old son. He's about to graduate high school. I don't have the patience to try to. I will teach and enlighten, but to actually like start over with a man and teach him this and teach him, no, I ain't got for that. I mean, if I value him and love him that much, absolutely. But because you already know before you got your lady, there was piss in the dating pool. And to add to it, I'm too old to mold. So I get it, Smitty, and the fact that you hung in there for a year and a half is noble. But there's too many out here. You just got to vet the system correctly. And another thing is, I try not to bring God and religious and my spirituality into things, but I think that's the main reason why we're so lost in the sauce is because we took God out of everything. We took him out of school. You can't pray before a game now. You can't do nothing. But you best believe on the dollar bill, it says, in God we trust. And that piece of paper, we value that piece of paper more than what we should really value. And I'm just going to bring up one verse from the Bible, Mark 10:6-9. From the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and thou two should become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. So that also means one power. Right, Nick? If you're going to become one flesh, that means one everything across the board. You can't pick and choose.
Can I say one thing real quick, Grace, if it's okay?
Absolutely.
I do want to make this clear though. I absolutely get what Brother Hink is saying because, I'm gonna speak for myself, and if Brother Hink, if you concur, beautiful. All right. I know as a man, and I've spoken to this before, Grace, how we do find purpose in guiding and teaching. So what he's saying is like, be patient. No, I totally get that, because if she's having a flaw in that, and if I'm able and if I'm equipped and I have the time and the patience to be able to go ahead and take that on, like, honestly, I mean, I really see that as like having purpose. having a sense of fulfillment. You know what I mean? As a man, at least, because I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I find a lot of joy in knowing that I'm in a position where the people around me, whether my child, my mother, close friends, my sisters, whoever, if they need me, I can do something. I'm not like ass out, you know. I can actually assist those around me, and really, that's really where I find my joy and my happiness. My happiness is not living my best life and loving on me. I get a lot of pleasure when I'm able to put a smile on the people around my people's face. So I do get you, Hank. I digress. My mic is muted.
I mean,
Well,
something
look.
else that I do on the side. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hank.
It's I'm the type, look, again, like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't give a damn if I change your mind. If I pinch you into one part, I don't care. At the end of the day, me and my lady, who's going to be my wife someday, is going to be in a good position. Why? Because we both agree on this. That's one of the things we those big three that we talk about: communication, sex, and money and finance. We agree on. That won't be a downfall of us. Sex won't be a downfall for us. Communication will not be a downfall for us, because I make sure I put that into practice and make sure I work on that. I make sure I'll be a good listener. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing you, as me and you, got to be, is a good listener. Pay attention. Slow to speak, quick to listen. And what you want to do is implement that same thing with your lady. You know, we know the ladies love to talk. But now we got to work on ladies. Like, hey, ladies, I need for y'all to learn how to listen. I know you know how to express yourself. Y'all know how to use your mouth by talking. Y'all talk. We understand it. But I need for y'all to listen now. When y'all can listen, then guess what? Now we having back and forth communication. Now it's not a one-way street. You're not just lecturing to me. We're actually having real conversation. So that's another thing where I work on me. And part of that is having a conversation with your woman and being honest with her. Look at this. I need for us to do this. And if you're not okay with it, look, I can respect that. I'm not going to look at you as a lesser person. I'm not. But I'm not going to be with you. We're not going to rock together. We could be cordial. I could see you, say hi. We could talk. Say, cool. But I'm going to find a woman, a lady, who's going to be down with this, because this is important. Because that lets me know where your heart really is, where your mind really is, where you really stand on being married. I need everything. I don't want 90% of you. I don't want 95. I don't want 99. Don't sell me short. I need all of you. Because I'm going to give you all of me. There's no secrets, there's no passwords, there's none of that. Somebody said, what privacy? What's privacy when you're married? We together. What you mean privacy? Ain't no privacy here. You have every right to know what I know, and I have every right to know what you know. There's no privacy. You don't have to worry about it. And if I do got a password, it's because of work, and guess what? You know the code. So if you feel like you have any questions, you can go do what you need to do. Now, I want you to come back and you apologize to me, because you owe me that for thinking I'm doing something I don't need to be doing. Yes, sir. You need to come back and bend the knee and apologize. And I'm going to accept your apology, and we're going to make love, and we're going to move on.
Facts. All right, guys. Well, I went down through the 7 things that I'm hoping that somebody can take something away from this, apply it. And everything that you said, Hank, I really, really appreciate you coming through. This was an important topic that I feel that, well, I don't like to use the word feel, that I think a lot of us, not just us, everybody needs to learn, because it's team. It is teamwork makes dream work, and a lot of us are leaving marriages over frivolous things, over a piece of paper. So with that being said, Smitty, I'm going to give you an opportunity to say any final. First of all, thank you for coming, even though, it was at the 2-minute warning in fourth quarter. I still appreciate your presence and your input as usual. Go ahead and give me any thoughts that you may have to put down on this topic, and let people know where we can find you so we can like and subscribe to your channel as well.
Absolutely. And first I would like to say I apologize. I was on another panel and I put my phone on do not disturb. And as soon as I got off and I clicked it back on, I said, oh, snap. So that's why I saw it late. But other than that, nah, Grace, man, great show. One thing I'm gonna give you, Grace, like seriously, you are definitely doing your thing. You are making moves. You are definitely putting in that work. So I want to salute you more than anything. You always have a great show, Grace. I wouldn't keep coming back if it was something that I didn't enjoy, and if it wasn't a place I didn't like to be. Brother Hank, it was absolutely a pleasure, my brother. And other than that, you can find me at Smitty's Corner, YouTube. All right, County King on IG. Just type in County with a K, no spaces. And other than that, you can catch me over here at Grace anytime, right? And I digress. My mic is muted. Y'all rock out. Thank you once again. You know I love us. Respect.
All right, my brother.
I want to thank you again for collaborating with me. I'm gonna grab you about every couple months, because I need your voice. I need a strong Black king to try to relay what I'm trying to put out there to my ladies, to other young men. I may not be a licensed therapist or a licensed psychiatrist, but I am an expert in life and in the experiences that I've been through. So I appreciate you coming in. If you could just go ahead and give me some final thoughts, and of course, and let people know where we can find you so we can like, subscribe, and share.
No problem at all, Grace. I appreciate you having me. My final thoughts is, look, guys. One pot doesn't mean you put all your money into one savings account and one checking account, and that's it. No, I'm all for diversifying your money. I'm all for making sure y'all invest into 457s, 457 Roths, 401ks. Make sure you invest your money into credit unions. You can get some of the best rates at credit unions. Multiple accounts to multiple things. But at the same time, I also need for you guys to make sure that your spouse has all access to every account. If she's willing to do the one pot thing, make sure your spouse has access, same access that you would have. If there's any question on certain amount of purchases, hey, present it. Don't try to be sneaky and try to hide shit and do that sneaky shit, because that's not doing anything for the relationship. What that's going to do is hinder the relationship. It's going to put trust issues on the table, and you definitely don't want that. You definitely don't want that. Another thing is, make sure y'all invest together, and y'all talk about how much you're going to invest and what you're going to invest in, and the percentage you're going to do. I talk about that all the time on my financial literacy show. Have those conversations. Have those conversations, because you don't want to be investing in one thing and it's a failure, not being successful for you, not giving you no returns. Don't do that. Make sure you get a financial advisor. Make sure your lady's there when you do have that conversation with them. I mean, me and my lady just went to them and found out the perks and the benefits, and make sure she signed up, because I was already signed up for it, but signed up on a credit group. Well, what's that? It's almost like a LifeLock, but it's costs a little different for the bank I deal with. But make sure you sign up for that. Make sure your woman's secure about that, and she signed up too. Because guess what? When y'all get married, y'all both credit's going to be affected by it. So make sure y'all both on the same page. Another thing I would encourage y'all to do: get your credit reports. That needs to be presented. That needs to be put on the table. So I not only want to see the proof of what you're paying and your bills and what your debt to income ratio is. I need to know all that, but I also want a credit report. because that's going to let me know your financial history right then and there, and your mindset and on what you did in your past, on what you're doing in the present. Where there's some changes in where you was making questionable decisions, but now in 2023, you making the right financial decisions. I want to see the change. I want to know and hear you have a conversation about financial literacy with your partner. Don't make it like it's a taboo thing to talk about money. It needs to be talked about. Because guess what? When y'all get together, y'all need to know where you can afford to go live at. What kind of schools you want your kids to go to. And if you want to go to send your kids to a private school, you got to be able to afford to do that. If you're going to put your kids in daycare, you need to be able to do it. If there's any extracurricular activities that your children want to be in, you need to make sure you can financially afford that. Guess what? Your kids may need braces. Y'all need to be able to financially afford to do that. Dental insurance ain't always 100% on braces, guys, in case y'all didn't know. So you got to be able to financially be able to afford to do those things for your children. And if you have a kid that special needs, you need to have be able to afford to do that. So make sure, make sure y'all definitely have that money conversation. I know it may be hard. I know it may be uncomfortable, but those conversations need to be had. Just like your expectations, just like, your style of communication, just like your expectations on sex. Please make sure you have that conversation. Your woman may, hey, I'm good with just once a month. You be like, bullshit. I need it 4 times a week. Oh, so now we need to come to some type of understanding, because once a month ain't gonna cut it. 4 times a week may be too much for her. So now we got to compromise. Can we meet somewhere in the middle? Now, can we do it? Okay, no, you once a month. How about we do it twice a week? Can we do that? Yeah, maybe. Okay, cool. Let's go. But that has to be the conversation. It needs to be made. And if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice. So, guys, look, I appreciate y'all coming today. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me and Grace. And you can find me again in the basement, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, Mondays and Wednesdays. You also can find me on Lapifa Sundays. Come check me out over there. You also can find me on King Talk. Come check me out over there. You can also check me out on Black Man Unfiltered channel at the barbershop on Fridays. Come check me out there. And, anytime I'm going to get the opportunity to come up here and hang out with you, Grace, you can check me out there too. So, all right, guys, just keep rocking with us, man. I'm sure me and Grace is going to continue to put out great content. We're going to continue to put out good information. And we're going to continue to share and open up the floor and have questions if y'all willing to come up here and ask questions. Are we willing to interact with the chat? As you see today, we did some great interaction. And some of it was kind of questionable and off the wall, but hey, look, it's part of it, ain't it? That's the way we roll. But keep rocking with us. I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
It's fun to me. I enjoy it because it only proves and validates how much work we need to continue to do. So as far as my final thoughts, once again, to my everyday embracers, thank you for coming. Thank you for continuously embracing me. To my new embracers, keep coming, rocking with me. Catch up on the shows. I got some good shows there. Definitely support Hank. He's got some great shows. I make my son follow him so he can learn from you, Hank. But my final thoughts on the one pot theory: money and marriage should come hand in hand. It's time to stop making stupid, silly, and selfish mistakes and find a common ground, because cultivating a solid marriage, union, or relationship takes time and intentionality. We need to learn to discuss finances in a more productive way. Remember, you married this person for a reason. Whether you believe it or not, or admit it or not, you need their skills, insight, and perspective, especially when you don't have those skills. The free spirit or the nerd can bring valuable insight and knowledge to the table for each other. They're your teammate, and you got to start acting and treating each other accordingly. Teamwork makes the dream work. You got to stop being so selfish, so self-entitled, so deceitful, and so secretive, because it's not going to work. It's not. As far as for me, you can find me here on my YouTube channel. You can find me on the JBJ Network on Thursday nights. You can find me in Boardwalk Global Media on Friday nights. You can find me on Sir Harold Speaks on Sunday nights. And I'm all over. I'm collabing. I'm hitting with people who are mind liked it. I welcome the smoke. I welcome the bullshit, because you know what? It's y'all need it. Y'all are necessary, because haters are motivators to me. Again, Hank, thank you for coming. I'll hit you up every 2 months. Pick a topic, and we're gonna rock with it. And thank you for rocking with me, everybody in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. Doreen, thank you for being my moderator. Even though you were moderating for Hank, you was doing it for me too. I appreciate the love. Polo, I appreciate the support. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Hank, have a good night, King.
You too, ma'am.
Thank you.